So I'm going to take you over something I think is kind of interesting because we're going to have a look in a moment at Adweek. And Adweek is very, very much an American sort of source if you want industry related ad news, media news, and things like that. This is the type of thing that reports on stuff if Netflix is going to lower its advertising price, or it has all these industry stuff that's going on in America. If you again work in marketing like me, or any interest in like advertising going on in America, this is maybe something you'll peruse every so often, or if you're looking for information, you might look at it. I know other people that constantly do sort of worldwide global campaigns. They read this all the time, or they're at least looking at this to make sure that they know what's going on industry wise. And of course, the big thing now on everyone's mind is with Elon Musk, quite frankly, putting forward a ridiculous lawsuit, which, if the court has any sense about it, would throw this out the door the second it meets the judge. There are questions to be asked now, because if you're planning a global advertising campaign and maybe you don't want to put your adverts on Twitter because, or X as it's now called, because it's a potential brand risk, might upset your brand. Who knows what your ads could be appearing next to? It's just too big a risk. But now you've got the added threat that Elon Musk might turn around to Linda Keano and say, sue them. And here's the thing, Musk has got some very deep pockets. There is a guy who could keep a lawsuit going for a very, very long time. So make no mistake, there's a lot of people now like, what's going on here? But at the end of the day, I think the argument that he's going to win through is advertisers are free to choose who and whoever they advertise with. Musk also has to prove that there's this conspiracy to boycott, which, again, good luck trying to prove that. Because if you go on GARM's website, you can see numerous times they've actually tried to interact with Elon Musk in meetings with him, in their blog post saying, hey, all this stuff that's going on Twitter under your watch, well, kind of putting advertisers off, so you might want to do something about that. But remember, we are only a year or so off where Elon Musk in Cannes said, I don't care about you, don't advertise, go somewhere else, I'm not interested in you. I wonder if that comment will come back to bite him in this law case. Not only that, you've had the boss of Unilever who's basically said, sorry, Musk, we spend our advertising money wherever we want. And the truth is, at the moment, digital, if you are going bang for your buck, where you want to spend the most money advertising for a product, it's probably Amazon. Walmart, again, Asda, online stuff, if you're looking sort of here, although Asda is now part of the Walmart family. So you are looking almost now at spending directly with those people, because that's where consumers are now closest to making their decisions. As boring as that is, Twitter is just being outcompeted, not by advertisers boycotting its website. It's just that they get a far better ad spend, giving their money to Tesco than anything else. Just how it works. So anyway, we're going to go into this because I think this is a good industry insight of what's going on and how the industry is sort of responding to this. And like I say, I am very, very interested in this. So let's crack on over into this in Adweek. With this, Ad buyers rethink X presence following the platform's GARM lawsuit. So, X is now back to warring with advertisers. And advertisers are also back to executing caution when engaging with the platform, buyers have told now Adweek. So, two-side buy sources who have advertised on X this year said that X's new lawsuit against the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, an advertising trade body, has now made them reconsider future investment in the platform. X filed lawsuits today against GARM, the World Federation of Advertisers, of which GARM is a subsidiary, and GARM members, the CVS Health, Mars, Orsted, and Unilever, for using their influence to inspire brands to boycott X and deprive the platform of ad revenue. Good luck trying to prove that in court. But back onto this. So obviously, GARM is an industry organization that was formed back in 2019, offering standards and guidelines to help brands avoid monetizing illegal or harmful content on digital media platforms. Again, seems sensible. So the owner of X, Elon Musk, has said on the platform today that we tried peace for 2 years, now it's war, as he reposted his CEO Linda Yacano's bizarre video about the lawsuit. God, I've got to, yeah, maybe we'll do that on a live stream another time, because that is weird. It's so weird. I think even she is like, I get the impression from that video, she did not want to be saying that. She did not want to be doing this. Just remember, the whole reason Elon bought her in the first place was to get advertisers back onto the platform. How does she feel now having to, do a video about that lawsuit? I'm not gonna lie, she looks very uncomfortable to me. Like, to be a fly on the wall, or to be like, psychic and reading her thoughts, like after Elon Musk or during Elon Musk's told her this, because oh my word. Yeah. So this is, of course, a very about face for Musk's last conciliatory presence now at Cannes earlier this summer, where he called brand safety critical. And he said that advertisers have a right to appear next to content that they think fits with their brand. Gee, I wonder if those comments are also going to come back and bite Musk during this lawsuit. Because, yeah, he's right. Advertisers do have a right, because it's up to them where they spend their money. If they don't think that X fits with their brand, guess what? They ain't going to advertise with you. Anyway, one buy-side source who is authorized to speak with the media, or is not authorized to speak with the media, said that the brand that they work with has paused advertising on X last year after Musk made anti-Semitic comments in November, but returned to the platform this year as the dust then settled around that controversy. They said a lot of brands had now slowly warmed back up to advertising on X, the source said, cutting the incentive that X had given to advertisers. Today, the lawsuit will now likely change that calculus. They said every advertiser needs to stop and think very hard right now and decide if X just doesn't fit a campaign. And a brand is not going to engage and spend with them on this quarter or even on this initiative if Elon is going to tell Linda Yacano to sue, the buyer said. He is a guy who can fund any lawsuit forever. So in the ad buying world, they're all now like, well, does your brand fit that? Does your brand not fit Twitter? I don't think a lot of brands will now look at this and go, I don't think so. I don't think so. But again, he's right. He is a guy who can fund any lawsuit forever. Just look at the Gina Carano Disney one, which I don't think we've heard anything for quite a while, but we'll see what happens on that front. But yeah, here's a guy who can just fund any lawsuit forever. It'd be terrifying, to be honest, to be on the other side of that. But back to this. So a large brand that advertised on X around the 2024 Paris Summer Olympic Games said that the lawsuit would make the brand reconsider whether to even post organically on X, and its paid activation has ended. So you've now got a brand who is going, not only are we not going to pay to advertise on X, we're not even going to do this organically, which basically means just, putting out a tweet as you would normally do. Just you would just put it out there and rely on your followers, etc., to sort of do it without paying to boost it more. If they are even doing that, that is bad news. That should be bad news. I cannot understand like the logic or reasoning behind this. And I'll tell you now, if this lawsuit does actually go to trial, we are probably going to see some very fun stuff. We are going to see some very fun stuff. Not from like any of these advertisers, but from the Elon Musk side. you know? Anyway. But anyway, they said this. Why would I want to be in any way, shape, or form involved in a place that wants to sue individual advertisers and the bodies that authentically represent them for choosing not to advertise there, the source said. X currently takes the most time for Varna Media employees to monitor for their clients out of every other platform, giving them the platform's myriad controversies and drama, said Anthony Scarla, vice president for media and programmatic lead. He said, today's lawsuit is just another example of the volatility of the platform. And although he noted that it is reporting on brand safety has now become more granular and thus has now flagged more issues as a result. We've definitely had these conversations as it is as is the juice now worth the squeeze. Scarl said. So there's another big media company saying, is it worth putting your money into Twitter? And the advertising world has gone back and said, would it honestly, I think they're going to pull out of. I generally think they end up, Twitter is going to die, and it's obvious why there's a massive ad revenue drop in Twitter. It's obvious. It's because of Elon Musk, what he's done and said, and how the platform is turning into a literal hellscape. It's full of bots these days. I get more people following me on Twitter that, if you look into them, turn out to be like bots than actual people following me on Twitter. It's honestly become such a useless platform. And I wouldn't recommend anyone spending any money on Twitter, or if you really did, I wouldn't recommend putting your main amount of money into Twitter. At this point, generally, you might be best just giving it to me, and I'll just burn it in a fire. That might be far better use of that money. But as we said back at the beginning, Twitter is being outcompeted by other platforms that can advertise better. When Tesco and Asda, just to use the British counterparts here, when Tesco and Asda can give better advertising returns than Twitter, yeah, I think we know why, Twitter's falling in this regard. But I'll tell you what, God, I'd love to do a documentary about Twitter. Like, just go into like all the deep dive and just interview people. My word, that would be a good idea. That'd be an amazing idea, but oof. Have to be very careful though, because I think Elon Musk might get a bit suey about it. So, yeah. But as always, let me know what you think down below because I think Twitter's going to die. I don't think it has long left, and I also think Elon probably getting a lot of pressure because remember, Musk didn't just put his own money into buying Twitter. A lot of Saudi money went into buying Twitter as well. So I have to wonder how much pressure is being put on him by those other investors to sort of start getting a return on this. Because you've been in charge for Twitter for what, 2 years now at this point? And if you're not getting a return on this after this long, when Elon Musk was all like, yeah, I'm going to make this incredibly profitable. Don't think so. I think Twitter is going to well, it's already been slowly circling the drain since he took it over, but have to wonder now if this action is going to accelerate that. Who knows? Who knows at this point? Twitter or X is now just such a volatile platform. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit the like, hit the share button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button as well. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.